K420 studio discussing real authentic truth talk, freedom of speech, and living in the now. Freeing your mind.
One episode at a time.
Shit, we trying. Boom.
That's cool. I like it. Bubba's in there. I'll show you what. Was he over here? Watch. Oh, there he is.
Back again in the K420 studio discussing real authentic truth talk, freedom of speech, and living in the now. Freeing your mind.
One episode at a time.
Shit, we trying.
Bubba's on his way to Eagle Pass right now.
Yeah.
That was good.
Cool.
Man. That was good.
I like that, man.
Who made that? The boys at To The Point?
Yeah, To The
Oh,
Point
yeah.
did that for us.
Yeah, they did it for us.
So what's up, guys?
That was good.
What's going on?
Yeah, how you doing?
New intro. Feeling different today.
That works.
That was good. Sounded good.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
It came out nice.
Guys, To The Point, man. They were here a couple of weeks ago, and Mike did that for us.
Appreciate y'all, boys.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, Mike.
Good job,
You know,
Mike.
if you guys want to listen to another podcast, it's just like this. I mean, it's To The Point. You know, they're out there speaking their truth. You know, so make sure you guys plug into To The Point.
Yep.
And don't forget Cap's Pizza. Let me tell you, I see that pepperoni pizza there. I'm just trying to stay away from the dough, man. But I tell you, bro, I'm tempted,
hit
bro.
two of them, man, you know.
I saw you eat 2 of those slices, bro. You tore those shits up, bro. But anyway, make sure you guys check out Cap's, man. They're out by Oslo and 27th, man. And then they need to call in an order, John.
Give them a call, 772-770-CAPS. Knocking out pizza since 1987.
All right.
Right? Good job. And then we got a guest in the K420 studio. We got John Binford. How you doing, John?
I'm doing all right. How you fellas
not
doing
Bedford,
this
I'm
evening?
sorry.
Pretty good. Welcome, brother.
Thanks for having me here. Man, it's good to be here.
What is it? I messed up. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. Good to have you, John. Thanks for coming, man.
You bet, man. Anytime.
Yeah.
It's my first time, so
First time on
I'm like Cherry Boy on
so you never been on a podcast?
No,
Oh, cool,
no,
cool,
no.
cool.
Yeah, this
So we're popping this cherry little
That's
bird.
right.
Ours is kind of simple. We just have a
I
conversation.
get first.
I get first.
That's funny.
You guys get sloppy second.
Pause.
That's funny.
I should probably not have said that.
Set yourself up.
Nah.
I
But
need to
anyway,
take it every
so
that's
we had one over to John's house for New Year's for dinner.
Yep.
And John really got me interested in gold and silver. Now, we talk about it all the time on the podcast.
Yeah.
But when he brought it up to me, he really, it takes me a minute to get convinced. He convinced me. Serious.
And now you got a piece of
Now I got a piece of silver, a gift from John. See?
He got his first ounce.
Yeah, I got my first ounce.
He's a stacker now.
I'm a stacker now.
a stacker. I like
Hell
that.
yeah.
A stacker. I
Hell
like that.
yeah.
All right. I like
So
that.
tell us a little about yourself, John. What do you do?
Well, I retired out of the military in 2007, and
Retired Navy, right?
Retired.
Retired
You're a
Navy.
different breed, brother.
retired.
So what you did in the Navy?
What's that?
What you did in the Navy?
Well, I was a helicopter aviation guy. I was a crew chief and a rescue swimmer and a maintenance guy, and did that my whole career. A little bit instructor duty along the way for search and rescue.
Nice. Thank you so much for your service. man.
Absolutely, man. It was
Hell yeah.
my pleasure. It went by quick, believe it or not.
Right.
What you do, 20, 25?
20, a little over
Yeah,
25.
20
I
years.
got a cousin
Fuck.
trying to do the 25 right now.
Yeah, it's tough now.
Yeah.
It's tough now. It's a whole different ball
Well,
game.
today's military is different, man. It's not even
Oh
the
yeah,
same.
it's not even nowhere near the same.
Wow, that's
Yeah, so I did that for a little while.
Yeah. Well, long
And
time.
yeah, and then just went retired, got out, and
Well, good
worked
for
in the
you.
industry, and now working with the U.S. government again,
Oh, cool.
civil service. So,
So what got you interested in silver and gold?
well, do you remember back in 2008 what they called the GFC, the global financial crisis,
Yeah.
and everything that went down? Well, I got caught up in that. I actually, when I was retired, shortly after I retired, was working in industry, and I went into work one day, and about 9 o'clock, they had thanked me for my help and services and said they're no longer needed, and out the door I went.
Wow.
And I actually went through was going through a divorce at that time too.
Okay.
So it was like the double whammy. But make a long story short, without getting into too much of details of that global financial crisis happened, which caused the loss of the job. There were a lot of layoffs. We all heard about what happened with the real estate market and everything like that. People losing houses and going through foreclosures and things like that.
Well.
And I was affected by it. And I told myself after I dug myself out of that hole that I didn't want to be back in that position ever again. So had to change a little about the way I looked at things, and started getting it. I heard a little bit about gold and silver, but I didn't know. You saw the commercials, and you still see them on TV right now, right?
Every night.
Now you see them more often.
Yeah, they're showing them all the time.
You see them a lot, and I was like, I didn't really think anything of it, but I knew I had to do something, and it was save as much money as I could. But then, as things progressed, and we'll shorten this up and bring us to the point we're at right now, where this economy is and everything like that. With gold and silver, what I learned was there's no counterparty risk to it.
Nope.
So that means if you hold it, you own it, and that little ounce of silver, or that 5 ounce bar right there, it is tied to the spot price, which is, we can go down that road a little bit, but I'm no subject matter expert, and I'm certainly not a financial advisor.
Exactly.
But nobody else owns that but you, and it has value.
Exactly.
It's an intrinsic value of the weight of the silver. And even though it's tied to the spot price and whatnot, which is probably around $23.50, I think, somewhere around there
that,
today.
Yeah, that's what I paid.
Something like that. It's been moving up a little bit.
Yeah.
But so do your multiplication tables right there in 5 ounces, and you got money.
Exactly.
And you can turn that in, because gold and silver are recognized globally.
Exactly.
In all different cultures, whether you speak the language or not, it's recognized there. So
Yeah. No, you're right on the money.
You can trade it, turn it into whatever the currency of the realm that you're in is, and go about your business.
That's a good way to put
It's
it.
heavy. It's heavy.
Yeah.
So,
But you had also mentioned it's always good to have small pieces. This way, if you got to pick up, let's say if it does go to a digital dollar, right, and we decide that we're going to go gold and silver, and it's going to be about trade and everything else. So this piece of silver will get me probably some bread, some eggs, take me shopping, right, and then that's it. I wouldn't want to give them a piece of gold.
No,
Right.
you wouldn't want to do that. The way I look at it, and this is stuff that I picked up along the way, gold is, you're not buying it to become rich, even though
God bless you.
it's an undervalued asset, just like silver is. You don't buy it to become rich. If it does go up in value, great, but you have something there to protect the wealth that you have.
Yeah.
If you have enough of it and your house is not paid off, you could trade it for the currency of the realm and pay your house off
100%.
if you had to,
Yeah.
or pay your car off if you had to. This is an alternate method of saving money, because I've become very leery of the banks as well along this journey that I've taken, and I'm not confident in the banks. So
And the dollar. The dollar shot.
yeah.
That's how I look at gold
Absolutely.
and silver.
That's why.
I feel like gold and silver, if anything happened, gold and silver is a way to rebuild a society.
Yeah.
Rebuild because at the end of the day, you're going to need something to trade. You're going to need something something's going to have value for us to continue. And gold and silver throughout time has been, let's say it's God's currency.
I just wrote it down.
Yeah,
It's
this is
God's money.
It's God's money.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're absolutely right. He put it in the ground. That's where it came from. That's where we dig it out of.
Yeah.
It has value, and
That's right.
and it's always been recognized.
So the way things are going right now, when the number on that starts going up, people should be scared about what they got in the bank.
Yeah.
Because it might not be worth nothing.
And that's the way I've looked at it, for the last 3 years that we've been doing this podcast, is I see the dollar collapsing because of the way the inflation is, the interest rates. There's so much money in circulation. They've been printing money for days since 1973, when Nixon took us off the gold standard. So people don't realize that this piece of paper here doesn't mean anything. It's useless. It's not backed by anything. It's not backed by this. So once that collapses, then what happens? We build a new currency backed by gold and silver, and then we're able to transact with this using a piece of paper that actually says, instead of saying the U.S., I said the Federal Reserve, it says U.S. Treasury, and it's backed by that. That's the way I see the future happening, and that's why I've gotten involved in this.
It goes back to the way it was.
It goes back to the way it was supposed to be.
Right.
But we've been duped for all this time. Our generation, your parents' generation, your parent, we've all been duped because there's way too much money in circulation. I mean, I see what things cost now.
Fucking fuck, we're trillions of dollars.
It's quite like Bo Polney talks about the video that I sent John, is that we're in the quadrillions. We're not in trillions. We're in the quadrillions. So we're like way past the point of no return. That's why I see this happening. That the dollar is going to go bye-bye at some point. And so whatever happens after that, that's because
that's why China's buying land left and right.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's really the main situation, and that's why I wanted to talk to John and get you guys some silver for your Christmas present. It was a little late, but
it's nice.
It's funny because I gave silver rounds out, Buffalo rounds.
Yeah. I got some of those. Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Yeah.
Mason Mint makes a really nice Buffalo round. It's got a lot of detail to it.
Yep.
Some of them are doesn't look like they're struck very precise or well, kind of a soft strike, I guess. But those are cool. So I hand them out for Christmas presents too. Yeah. And people are like looking at them like, what is this?
And see,
you might thank me later.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Exactly.
Trust me.
That's what it comes down to, is that we're going to be blessed abundantly soon because of the crash of the dollar. See, that's the part where you can't be scared that you have this money. As long as you're prepared, you can actually give abundance to everyone else. So if you got a bunch of silver, you can make your family abundant in even if they don't prepare or buy any, but they'll be like, oh, thanks for getting that for me, John, and then you're like, oh, matter of fact, I got more of that, and we're going to build a new society. We're going to build a new way of life, a new way of doing business, a new way of transacting, because it's a way to build wealth. Like you said, you're not going to get rich, but you can build a generational wealth. Right now, you can't build generational wealth from pieces of paper that aren't backed by anything, because if this goes bye-bye tomorrow, guess what? I don't care how much money you got in the bank, those are just digits on a screen. Like Bo Polney says, it's the digits on a screen, that's all they are. It's nothing. This isn't digits on a screen.
I think Andy talks about this at one time when trying to correlate the value of silver or the no value of paper dollars during the in the 1920s, the Reichmark, when it collapsed over there in Germany, there was a story. I don't know if Andy told this, but I've heard it out there. But it's quite an interesting story. Real quick, is they would go up to a market to buy food with a wheelbarrow full of money. You probably heard that before in other countries and stuff like that.
Yep.
And they go in there and with a wheelbarrow full of money to get whatever groceries or pay for lunch or dinner or something like that. And take the money out of the wheelbarrow, right? Pay for the groceries and come back out. And the wheelbarrow's gone, and any money that was left in it is laying on the ground.
Yep, exactly. Because that's what
the wheelbarrow was more
worth than the paper.
Than the whole wheelbarrow full of the paper dollars.
That's crazy.
The paper currency that was in there is crazy. Yeah.
And with so much money being in circulation, it's all just digits on a screen, like I said before. So there is no paper. There's not enough paper. So if everybody wanted to go take out $10,000 in the bank tomorrow, the banks would be insolvent. They'd be like, "Wait, we don't got it. We got to order it. We got to go get it somewhere. I see it on the screen, but I don't know where it's at."
Well, that scares me too. The banks, they've been running on a fractional reserve
bingo
methodology for quite some time, where they can, you deposit $100 and they can loan 10 times that.
Yeah, that's.
And I think they've even taken that out away recently. There is no reserve requirement.
That's what it is. That's what it was after 2008. After the crisis, they took it away. Said that we took it away, and then they renamed it something else. So it's still the same system, and it's set up to fail again. So it's coming.
Yeah. And even in history, all the systems, everything from Rome all the way back to all the empires, all the currency systems were set up to fail, and they all did. And Bo talks about that as well, that eventually this one's going to crash as well, and this is why this is happening.
Yeah, there's no fiat currency system out there that has survived for very long.
In perpetuity, really. I mean, where
Right.
gold and silver would survive in perpetuity because it's God's
It
money.
has value.
It
It always has
comes,
value.
and it comes from the ground.
It's a mineral.
The banks,
It's a raw mineral.
We saw a lot of these banks over the past year. SVB, we heard it on the news, and a few others.
Silicon Valley.
That's one.
Yeah,
That's the one,
SVB,
yep.
Oh, yeah.
and a few others out there. I can't think of the names of them right now, but they were all bailed out by the Fed.
Exactly.
But now they're talking about bail-ins.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're talking about, your money in the bank and it could not be safe. Well, guess what? They made laws. I don't know that I can't recite the name of the law, but they have made laws where they can. You as a depositor, you actually are a lender to the bank, and if the bank defaults, right,
They keep your money.
that's it.
So you're an investor, basically, like,
Yeah,
Yeah, they keep it.
and you're taking risk, putting my money in here. Oh hell no! I'm doing this too.
But you're taking all the risk.
They tell you basically.
The house wins. You're taking all the risk.
Yeah, but
That's
the
what it
crazy
is.
thing is, they tell you we're keeping your money safe. That's crazy.
Well,
That's
they
a
get,
lie.
you, they get you with
You
the
said it right.
FDIC
You didn't have to
insurance.
say
I was
safe.
just
We're
gonna say
keeping
that.
your money.
That's it. That's it. We're keeping
You
your
said we
money.
keep money safe. We're keeping your money.
Well,
you should be
basically,
saying.
basically, you become a creditor to the bank with your
Yeah.
deposits.
Remember, the FDIC back in the crash of 2008, they changed the FDIC insurance from 100,000 to 250,000. So they basically upped it so that you would be not less to take your money out. It made you feel comfortable, like, oh, I got
But that's just a fucking
$250,000
digit on a
insurance,
fucking
but
screen. Nothing.
it's fake insurance,
Yeah.
exactly. But they make it feel like you got insurance up to that amount, so then you feel comfortable that you're going to get your money. But like you said, it'll be a bail-in. They'll be like, oh, sorry. you
Well,
can't get
the
it."
bail-in is actually where they take your deposit to keep them
Keep
in
them
some
solvent,
sort of
keep them
sense of
solvent.
solvency
Yeah.
or what have you. That's a bail-in.
And that's people are going to freak out. They're going to be like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Like, you can't keep my money. That's my money. You're supposed to just hold it and protect it, not keep it.
But just to jump back to you on the gold, if you start stacking both of them, that's your commerce, day-to-day stuff. Gold you keep as a source of wealth to
Land.
trade for land or property or something like that.
Big purchase.
Big purchases, absolutely.
The bigger ones.
So if the dollar ever does collapse,
Yeah.
and it looks like we're heading there.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we're at exactly on its purchasing value, but I can give you a couple examples. One that comes to mind is a dime made in 1964
yeah,
or earlier. Constitutional silver,
I collect
they
those.
call it,
Yep.
or they call it junk silver.
Yep.
Because it's been circulated, right? But it's 90% silver.
Exactly.
So a dime right now, just one dime, that's 1964 or earlier, is probably worth about close to $3, $3.50s, something like that.
Yeah.
So there's so many grams of
Yeah.
silver in
Oh,
that
yeah.
90% silver dime.
Nope.
And so if you do the math with the spot price, it's worth about $3 for
One
of
dime.
the- one
Yeah.
dime.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's
Maybe,
3,500%.
I take that back. I think maybe about $1.48 right now, or
Yeah.
somewhere around
That's
there.
still
two-
148%.
So 2 dimes. So if you look in history and go back, how much was a gallon of gas in 1964?
Like what, 10
38
cents?
cents,
20
28
cents?
cents.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 dimes roughly, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, and if they're worth $1.50 right now,
worth a
how much is a gallon of gas right now?
$3.
Full, almost
$3.
$4, $3.50. Yeah.
Right. So with those 2 dimes in silver, if you traded it for currency today,
Yeah.
I had 2 of these, and you gave me $1.50 for each one of them.
Yeah.
I'd have
And a
$3.
gallon of
I
gas.
could go get a gallon of gas. So the purchasing power of those two dimes is still the same as it was in 1964.
Exactly.
For real.
And that's a perfect example of what we're seeing right now. And that was back in 1964.
That's crazy.
When we got off the gold standard, now everything costs a fortune. Like, everybody thinks their house is worth $500,000. And it's like, well, yeah, on paper, literally paper dollars maybe, because there's so many in circulation, but literally it's only maybe worth $150,000.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should have always been. It should be worth the same as what I paid for it, because it shouldn't have went up or down. It should have just stayed the same, or maybe gradually went up. But like you said, they even did that with gold and silver back in the day when they took it and they shaved it down. They started making coins that were less and less and less full of silver.
They did that back in Rome, in the Roman era.
Yes.
They started clipping
the money,
clipping coins.
clipping the coins. Yeah,
Right, that's why if you notice on the coins, they have that reeded edge.
You can see that. You can see the side.
That was in an effort, as I understand it, to prevent clipping.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Now, I've been learning a lot these last 3 years about all of it. Like just looking back in history, because history proves past. You can see it. Future proves past. We see what's happening. It's all happening all over again. It's happening in our lifetime, and
We've been talking about gold and silver and digital dollar for years.
Yeah. So it's happening in our lifetime. We're here. We're blessed to be here to see this happen, because even though it sounds really bad, like Bo Polney says, it's going to be the darkest time if the dollar does collapse, but it's also going to be the greatest time if you're prepared and you're not scared.
See, I'm on both sides. I believe in this more than the digital and the dollar, but I am invested in the digital.
Yeah.
So I'm already ready for one of I have so much money in all those coins on the Sheeb, XRP.
All of them.
I'm just waiting for it. Sheeb is bouncing up and down lately, so I'm just this might actually jump.
It might.
If it does, that'll be crazy.
I think that
I got $1 billion in that.
Well, I think that what might happen is, because remember, we have to be able to still transact in the world based on the technology that we have. So we still have to be able to transact.
Oh yeah, you got.
So I think there's going to be some Bitcoin digital coins that are going to be useful, that'll be backed by this, because what's it, Arethea? What's Ethereum. Yeah, some of these stuff can be backed by this, so that you can transact, and there's no middleman. There's no bank taking their fee. There's no Cash App taking your fee. It's you making a transaction, because you bank yourself. You're the banker. So
Right.
I have this much in silver, so I have this many coins. On digital, they could still keep the same value, and they don't lose their value because they're your coins or your digital coins.
Yeah, I've always had a little. I could never wrap my mind around the crypto.
It's a lot. I don't understand
because to me it's the
still,
way I see it is digital. It's digital fiat.
It's playing fucking
Yeah.
Russian roulette.
It's like gambling.
basically.
Yeah, it's like gambling.
The only reason for the dollars that we have, the notes that we have right now, it is built on confidence.
Yes.
And you're confident that if you want to buy this cup here, right, I'm going to be confident that you give me however many paper dollars that I'm going to be able to use them. My confidence level is I'm going to be able to use them to do what I want with them. Yeah. Buy something else.
Exactly. It's all about what you think it's worth, the confidence of what you think it's worth.
And that's everybody in that's transacting in that, doing commerce. We all have confidence in those paper dollars.
Yeah. So
but it's waning.
Yeah,
and that's the collapse.
That's the collapse.
The collapse is when you're not confident. You're not willing to take. I'm not willing to take your dollars for this cup.
Exactly.
I want something tangible that's real. And that's the problem I've always had with crypto. I delved into it a little bit. I don't have very much, and it's actually on some other exchange that I don't even think I can get to.
Oh boy.
Now
that's what's so confusing about it. Yeah,
Binance, man.
Yeah, I know.
Go to Twitter and write them on Twitter, and they'll message you. The company will message you. Whenever that happens, contact the company on Twitter. Make a Twitter page and just make it just where you can do your contact support. Go on there and write them and say, hey, I've been trying to get into my account for such and such. I'm trying to get in. If they need verification, they'll send you their email, and then you'll be able to get through it. They should have the blue check next to them to make sure they're official.
Yeah. So I actually, I'm actually on Coinbase. I have
Coinbase is way better.
A piece of Bitcoin that I had to convert into to
do it around,
to swap out.
always gotta
Because
do
I had for a while I had XLM and XRP
Gotcha,
and ADA and stuff. This is probably 5 years ago now.
Okay.
My son got me into it.
Okay.
A little bit. So I threw some money at it, and then it didn't look like it was going anywhere at the time. And this was several years ago.
Gotcha.
And I converted it to Bitcoin, and then used the Bitcoin to turn it into. I'm trying to think of it. Bixweir.
Okay.
Has been, and I haven't seen very much from him lately, or him talking about the. I wish I could remember the name of the crypto that he has. But anyways, if it comes to mind, I'll let you know.
All right.
So I have some of that.
Well, crypto was good to me. I had a.
Yeah, he's going to tell you about he got his money.
Yeah, I'm going to say it again. It's the truth, though. It's great. The crypto bike.
No, it works if
But I gotta
if you
tell you,
time it right.
I had put some money in crypto. It just collapsed back in 2020, right? And I forgot about it. I got a customer comes into the shop. He says, "Man, he's talking about Bitcoin is up to 50,000." I said, "Really?" I look at my Bitcoin. I think I had $700, and I had forgotten about it. I didn't know how to get it out.
It ain't $700 no more.
Nah, man, it was like $6,000.
That's
dude.
crazy, man.
So I bought the motorcycle. I
Yeah.
pulled it all out. I found a way to get the money out. I bought a motorcycle. I didn't keep it in there. I was afraid.
So you can find a way to get it out.
Yeah,
It's like
I did. But it's $6,000, $700. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. It took too much time.
That's fucking awesome.
But yeah, so I mean, I got another like $600-700. I think it went up Bitcoin. I got to check it out.
Yeah, it's
I ain't taking it all out. Yeah, if it's $600-700 that I put in there and it goes up to fucking 8-10, it's not a big loss to me.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time putting in like, I don't know, 10, like you've done it. I mean, 10,000 into Bitcoin, 20,000 into Bitcoin. I can't do that. You do it. I can't. You know what I mean? Like you do it with the stocks too. That's another
Cherry
one.
and Lucy.
Stocks is another thing that's hard for me to get into.
Yeah.
This is more tangible to me.
That's it.
You see,
Really,
I buy this, like you said, and now I own it.
Yeah.
It's not a piece of paper. It's not some stock.
Not on a computer
Somebody
where I gotta put in a
manipulating
password.
nothing. This is mine. I have it in my safe. It's mine, and I paid for it, and it's valuable. You know what I mean?
And then there's talks that if when this dollar collapses, when things go down, that that an ounce of silver is going to go for close to maybe $10,000 an ounce. That's it. And gold should be at about $40,000 an ounce. Gold should be where Bitcoin or where the Dow is at now. That's where gold should be if it was really letting it go as a value
Hey, John,
going up.
right,
They've held it down for so long. What's that, John?
I said I've always said gold should be an ounce of gold should be where one Bitcoin is now.
Yeah.
Bitcoin should be where
100%. No,
an ounce of gold is.
and I think that's what's going to happen, John. I really do.
Well, what happened with the digital dollar became popular. The more popular it came, the more money that was invested, the more money you made. Remember, an investment grows; it makes it grow.
Yeah.
So more popular it became, the more money put into it, the more money you made.
What people didn't realize when they were investing that money into the coins was they were taking the money out of the market. And then you got to print money that doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what they've been doing.
Hey, listen, I do want to take a second to put this out there because the names were just released. The 3 soldiers who passed away in Jordan.
Yeah,
I do want to take it. I mean, you got 3
talking-
veterans sitting on this table.
Talking to Jay about
All right,
it.
so it was Sergeant William Jerome Rivers, 46 from Georgia. Specialist Kennedy Landon Sanders, 24 of Georgia. And Specialist Brianna Alexandria Moffett, 23 of Georgia. Died January 28, 2024 in Jordan. The attack occurred when a one-way unmanned aerial system impacted their container housing units, the Pentagon said.
The Pentagon.
So here you got this president letting this shit happen already. Over 100 attacks since October 15th to our soldiers.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there real quick because I did want to speak about those 3 soldiers who were killed. Because 46 and 26, man.
23. That's crazy.
It's fucking nuts, dude. And here they died for nothing.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be in a war. And then this fucking clown says like, oh yeah, he's gonna do something. He ain't doing shit. See, when they attacked our soldiers, Trump took out Soleimani.
Yeah.
They ain't fuck with him, bro, because they knew he's gonna take somebody out.
Of course.
And then he stopped the funding, and they're saying, Biden said you should have never stopped the funding. Fuck yeah, stop the funding. He had them on their fucking knees.
And again, Eddie, like I tell you, this is all fucking by design.
Yeah.
This is all by design to wake people up. Even though people have to die, we're at war. This is a fucking war.
Yeah.
People don't realize that we're at war right now.
Yeah, I know, but you
And
want to
so-
know something?
huh?
We shouldn't be.
I know we shouldn't, but the unfortunate fact is the only way this country's going to wake up and people are going to rise up, like me and Rondell always say,
through another one.
it is through something like this to see that, whoa, wow, gee, Trump was in office for 4 years and nothing like this happened. And then all of a sudden,
treaties.
and then all of a sudden,
4
this is
peace
all
treaties
happening.
when Trump was president.
Why is this happening
No
for?
wars.
Oh, wait a minute.
No soldiers died. Zero soldiers
Maybe
died.
he should really be the president. Maybe we should have him be. Oh, maybe he won the election. Oh, maybe he should be the president still. This is what this is all about. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, I already know.
I already see it plain as
The
day.
truth is coming out this year.
I know,
It's going
I
to come
know.
out. Everything is going to
But
come
the
out.
sucky part is that 3 people have to die because of it.
Well,
you know.
more people are going to die.
I know,
Remember,
yeah.
46.
Yeah,
43
we
to
lost
46
lost
people
2
were
seals
injured.
over there in the Red
Yeah,
Sea.
and then you got the 2 seals who
Red
passed
Sea, too.
away. Yeah, you know what's going on?
You know, and it's
know,
all it's
This
all related
fucking
to
president, what
to
the fuck is he doing? Why is he letting our soldiers die?
But
Because people have to wake up to see
Those
it.
are our children,
I
bro.
know,
They're
I
fucking
know.
kids, 23,
I know, but think
26.
about, I know, but don't forget that even before Trump and all the presidents before that, all the people that died in Benghazi because of that and all that, that was what's showing you now. This was all by design before. So we lost people back then because of these piece of shit globalists, and now we're not, and then now we are again. Oh, what's the difference between then, middle, and now?
Trump.
Exactly. And that's it. I mean, I don't. I'm not a Trumper. I don't go around with my shirt.
I know
going
you're
to,
not.
but the bottom
I'm
line
not
is,
either.
but we don't have to because
But-
the truth shows itself
Right.
to what it is, and that's the truth.
In my 62 years of life, he's been the best president we've ever had. The best. Give a fuck what anybody
he
says.
don't- yeah.
100, bro.
You can't. The facts are there, and this is why this has happened. So it proves that. So that whether you're liberal or whatever you are, you will see it and go, man, you know what? I'm not liking this. Like, people are dying, and I can't have this no more. I need to change. And that's the collective. We all have to
What
think.
is it that Trump says?
I wanted people to stop dying.
I like when he
Dying.
does that.
But he's the only one that says that. You don't hear
I
anybody
love
else
that.
say it.
I love that.
He said, I
When
want
John
people to
says
stop
it.
dying.
Yeah,
that's why
John
I
said
got I love this.
I know.
I love this hat that I have here.
Make America constitutional again. Yeah,
Yeah,
because we're a
exactly.
constitutional republic. And
right.
this is also what's being shown. Is that like, oh, wait a minute, like really this democracy thing, that like the threat to our democracy is bullshit. We're a republic. Let's go back to that, and let's go back to gold and silver backed currency. Let's do that.
That's the thing, though. If you do one or the other, you get the other. It comes with the other, and then they have no control because it's the people.
Yeah,
it's
Right,
back
that's
to
right.
the
They,
people.
they can't. They
That's
can't,
what they don't
They
want.
can't print the
shit.
fake
Yeah,
dollars.
They can't
yeah,
print
that
the shit.
bullshit.
That's
They
right.
can't-
Yeah.
They can't
You know,
print no
if you
more.
want more of it, you're gonna have to go out there and dig some holes,
keep
right?
digging.
You know?
Yeah.
So
This is
you know,
still got some spots.
something that I came across lately with some gold and silver I wanted to share with you. So when you're out there, if you're going to start stacking and stuff like that, especially when you get in, you get into the point where you want to, get a little bit of gold. Now I try to do coins, and I don't have that much, but I try to do it. But what I did learn is that even with the coins, I found out by listening to. And it made sense when I heard it from Bill Holter. You may have heard of him.
Yeah, I heard of him.
He's really big into the stacking and gold and silver. But anyways, he said, you want to stick with the coins of the realm. Okay, so that's with your American gold coins or whatever, and it should be. We have the gold eagles, we got the buffaloes. Those are the modern gold, and then of course we have the old gold, which is a pre-33.
Okay.
And into the 1800s, the double eagles, St. Gaudens they call them, and the Liberty heads is what they call them, gold liberties.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah, and then they have some fractional stuff, infused Indians at $10 and $5 and $2.50, I believe, and then the older Liberty, looks like Liberty, smaller fractional gold.
Yeah.
So stay with the American coins. If you go out and you get and we've heard of them, the gold maples and the Philharmonics and the Krugerrands and stuff, you're going to pay less of a premium on those than you will for the American.
Okay.
But what I found out is that It can be a little bit more difficult if you have to convert it for some reason.
Okay.
It can be more difficult, and you get less than you would for the American.
Okay.
You know what I was thinking the other day? I went into a grocery store and they said they didn't have a change. They don't have any change in the drawers.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, damn, that's crazy. How y'all don't got change?
Like getting rid of it.
Change. No, they're not getting rid of it. They're taking it. The people are the fucking CEOs of they're hoarding the fucking change because they know some of this change is worth fucking more than it's really worth. They're taking the change out of.
Well,
I got a ton of change, bro. I got so much
Me
change.
too, bro. I got jars.
My God.
Bro, jars of change.
that's funny.
I go
the
into
old stuff, though. The full copper pennies.
Yeah,
Not the
my girl-
nonsense that they're making now.
I know.
My girl goes through all
No
those
idea.
jars and separates. She goes. She has a list of coins that are worth like some of the coins are supposedly worth millions. There's a penny that's worth $1 million. I was like, I don't know, babe. I don't know about that. She's like, I'm gonna take it to the people. And I'm gonna ask them if this is the coin. I was like, all right, you do what you're gonna do. I'm not gonna stop you, but. If it's worth $1 million, you
never know.
You're that girl. You're that girl.
You never know.
There's only one that I know of that could be worth that much money.
Has a little A on it, like a little. It's like right
this
next
is
to
a, this is a 1943 copper penny.
Okay.
something like that. I know she's always
Because
talking
that's
about
when they made the steel
1940.
pennies.
Okay.
In 43 because of the war effort,
Gotcha.
World War II.
Okay.
They made a few examples of copper
Yep.
pennies in 43.
Yeah.
And if you ever find one of them,
Well, just like the friggin'
that's yeah.
I gotta find
they-
out where you are so I can bring these pennies to you. Say you were in the
But I don't know very much about
Yeah.
all the super high dollar ones. There's a couple others out there, but
I've seen them.
You're talking
She's
millions of
showing
dollars.
me.
I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
oh, that looks
More
like
than-
it. I'm
More
like,
than 1943 pennies?
no,
or just
there's
few?
a certain set that was
Certain circulation. or
Yeah,
whatever?
she showed me it was like double minted or something, and they did something to it. It went through the press twice. They left the machine on for 12 hours, so it ran like 65,000 of the coins through the thing before somebody realized it. The next person came in,
Well, it's just-
and he realized there's a double mint on it.
Well, there's double die.
Yeah,
stuff
there.
that happen
Yeah.
at various years. And I think the most
Happens all the
popular
time.
one that I'm aware of is the 1955 double die.
Okay.
But they have other ones in the 70s and stuff like that. I think even in the 90s.
Yeah.
That are valuable, but I don't
Really,
know if they're
yeah.
at the $1 million.
No,
'cause I don't even think I'm
You're gonna have me checking all my
Bro,
coins.
I'm telling you, bro, my girl, she really
You'll
like
be-
all the coins in the jar, and she'll just be like, "You didn't let me check them before you throw me." in." I'm like, "Oh man, come
Coins
on,
like this. I got the shops. I get all this change. I
Right.
just fucking put it in a fucking jar.
you got to go through it."
Well, it's just like when Kennedy printed up the $5 bill that was backed by silver and it said the U.S. Treasury on it. They were in circulation at one point too. So I mean, they like the pennies you said that they were printing up. They were full copper. The same thing. They were silver backed, $5 bills. And
Yeah.
they were out there. See, we were getting to that. We were trying to get to that hump.
There's a dollar bill that's worth a little bit of money too. That says so backed by silver.
Probably
Right?
there's a few out there.
Am I correct?
Yeah, there's a
What's that?
It's like
dollar
a
bill?
bill that says backed by silver.
A
Is
silver
worth something.
certificate?
Yeah, silver certificate.
Yeah, there's plenty of those.
There's plenty of those. Yeah, I mean, it can be done. The reason why it isn't being done is because the elites, the World Economic Forum, all the ones that print the money, the Rothschilds and the fucking whatever the fucks,
Whatever the fucks.
there's so many of them out there. Like there's so many that, and they're the ones.
That's a different family.
Whatever the fucks.
They're the ones printing the money.
Yeah.
No one's
Who
gotta
are
worry
the
about
fuckers?
Yeah, that's
Like the fuckers. The fucks. And the fuckers.
But they're the ones that are printing the money, so that's why they keep this silver and gold so low. That's why the highest silver's gone in how long is what? A little over $50. That was it. $50 an
Yeah,
ounce.
$50. What it was 1980? I want to say.
Yeah, so that's why it's
and
been
then
held
back
down.
in, more recent,
suppressed.
more
for a reason.
recently, I think was 2011. That was after
that's what
after
Andy
the
said.
GFC.
Yeah, Andy said it
went back up to almost 50.
Exactly, and,
And-
see, and there's a perfect example.
This here?
Yeah, that's a perfect example. That the GFC, like with the global financial crisis, that you said, that's when silver started to go up because the dollar was collapsing. So that's what it comes down to. So then they suppressed the silver. It was going up while Obama was letting the economy crash, and then he bailed the banks out. And it wasn't a bailout. The banks bailed themselves out. They didn't bail anybody else that was losing their home. They just kept the money for themselves so they could stay afloat. See, people didn't see that back then. Now you look back and you're like, they didn't help nobody.
For real. All
Everybody
those people
lost
lost
their
their
home.
houses.
Yeah, they didn't help nobody. They kept the money because they were going to collapse and silver started going up. So this is the same exact thing that's going to happen, except this time there is no bailout, and they're going to try to do a bail-in, and people are going to be like, whoa, 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 no, you're not keeping my money, fuck you. So that's where I see a big head come into a huge head right now. It's going to be like 2008 all over again, except they're really going to crash. Like Nick Novak said, people are going to find out these banks have been insolvent for a long time, and they've been using your money to stay alive, and that's why they suppress this right here. That's why. That's the reason why they keep it low. It should be 10,000 an ounce, easily, and it's going to.
You know, from listening to Andy and others, Lynette Zhang, and I even listened to Commercial Coins and Precious Metals, Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. He's got a shop down in Lauderdale by the Sea.
Okay,
Brian Kuzmar.
Yeah.
And he goes to the big coin shows, but he does some videos too. He used to do more of them, but so I think he's cut back to like one a week. But I listen to him too, so I just try to pull information from all different sources.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do.
And try to put the puzzle pieces together by listening. And you start listening to enough people out there, and you start hearing similar things.
It starts connecting.
You start building that picture, and it starts coming into focus.
Exactly.
And then it puts you on a path.
Realize what you realize.
Exactly. Well, that's a perfect example, because I sent this video of Bo Polney and Andy Sheckman to John, and I was like, I'm going to send you something. I bet you you'll already like have a familiarity. And as soon as I sent it to him, he said, I've been listening to Andy since when?
For several years.
Years now, and I've been listening to Bo for the last 3 years. And then Bo and Andy did a show together, and so he's been listening to Andy. I've been listening to Bo, and then they're both doing a show together. So that tells you that everybody's syncing up on this same thing. They're like, oh shit, like Andy's been talking about it. He's been listening to Andy. I've been listening to Bo, and now they're all talking. Now we're sitting in here doing a podcast too, talking about it.
I listen to Mike Maloney.
Mike Maloney,
he's down there, and there's a couple guys.
There's some
down
smart
there.
dudes, man.
Oh yeah. They're much smarter than I am. So I just try to leverage their experience and smartness and try to build that picture.
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
realize what you realize.
That's classic. I like that.
And that's what it comes down to, because these guys are syncing up too. We're all syncing up. We're saying the same thing. We're all creating it in our minds.
Information is math.
Yeah, it's out of control.
Yeah.
That is valuable.
Yeah.
Information is math. When it all adds up, you get an answer.
Already, we talked about numbers last time.
You can put the answer together yourself. All you needed was all the parts of the equation.
Bro.
Yeah.
If you hear enough, if you're hearing a similar same thing from different sources,
and you're taking
especially
piece
if
by
they're
piece.
not so well connected. I listen to Danielle DiMartino.
Okay.
And and just everywhere. Just try to get all different sources.
I like Bo because he correlates everything biblically like Eddie does. So that's why I listen to Bo, because Eddie will talk in the podcast and see, this is where it comes in my head. I'll listen to Bo, and then I'll talk to Eddie, and Eddie will say the same thing as Bo, even though he doesn't listen to Bo like I do. And Eddie will say it, and I'll go, fucking Eddie just said that, and then Bo said the same thing, and I'm like, and they don't even listen to each other. So that's where I sync up and go, like when you said end of an age, and then all the people I was listening to were all saying an end of an age, because really it's an end of an age of this too.
Yeah.
This is not just evil, but this is the end of this.
And the generational
Generation,
age.
exactly.
This is part of a generation.
That's a regime.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And Bo Polney says this is going to be the greatest wealth transfer in the history of the world. So what does that mean? Like the greatest wealth transfer? Like if it's an end of an age.
It's a transfer. It means somebody who got it is going to come to somebody who don't.
Exactly.
And remember, those who don't have gold and silver, they're going to have wheat.
Yes,
they're
going to be blessed anyway.
They're going to have crops that they can sell. They're going to have livestock.
And they're going to
all
be
the
able
stuff
to
that we're going to need, and they're going to get it because you're going to buy it.
It's like, hey,
any farmland owner right now who's still holding on to their land.
I really think it's going to go back to that. I really think it's going to go back to trade, like, bartering.
If you can hold on to your land, because right now they're doing anything to get your land from you. They're doing anything to get your land from you. Taking your place down, all kinds of shit. Like,
Yeah, they're stealing land left and
You can
right.
keep your land.
And that's another thing what Trump talked about with the farmers. He's like, I got you guys all the money from China.
And he
like,
did.
He did, and that's why they love him, because they were able to keep their land. He actually helped families
As soon as
not
he
lose,
left,
lose their
they
homes.
shut down. They shut down
But
thousands.
remember, right after
hundreds
they
of
signed that
thousands of
motherfucker,
farms.
what came right after that signing? COVID.
Yep, exactly. All by
It's
design.
all
by
farce,
design.
though.
It's
These
all-
motherfuckers.
Did you
They
see
knew
when the
what they were
chickens
doing.
stopped laying eggs? When eggs were a problem to
Yeah,
get?
because they were feeding them the
Because
shitty feed.
they gave them
Yeah.
messed up feed.
Yeah, it's all by design. This is all part of it. And this is why people are seeing it, because it's the only way. I mean, I look at it as like, this is it. Like, this is the final battle. Like, this is all there is left, because we have nothing left after this. This is it. If we don't stand up and take our country back and speak our truth like we've been doing here, all these other people, and getting ready for God's money and being prepared, not scared, we're going to win. It's already taken care of. It's already over. We just have to witness it now. That's all I keep saying to people. Like, we just have to sit there and go, what the fuck is going on? This is the dollar's collapsing. Because remember, there's a lot of people that aren't paying attention to what's going on, and they got a lot of money in the bank. They got a lot of digits on the screen. And if
See,
they wake up one day,
I ain't worried about it.
And it's all gone.
all the digits on the screen that I have are all one big illusion. And I don't base my wealth on that. And a lot of people do, though. And that's the people that are for self. And those are the ones that are going to get hurt. They're going to be like, what the hell? You're not get, where's my money? You didn't get, well, wait a minute. You're keeping my money? The bank's keeping my money? Wait, where am I going to retire? How am I going to be able to do? I got to go get a job at Walmart.
I've never, bro.
You'll be
I've
freak
never
people
kept
out.
the money in the bank. And Eddie's always, what did you get? When I was coming out of the Navy,
Yeah.
Eddie was.
You didn't trust
Why
me,
would I
so
keep the
there's-
money in the bank?
There's
Yeah.
the confidence
What
that
do you
John
mean?
was talking about.
No.
He kept his
Yeah.
money. He kept his money under the mattress.
Yeah.
Under the mattress. Then I bought a safe. I was like, yep, I'm good now. I don't need nothing else.
Because you didn't have confidence then. So now look at it.
Never had
And that's why
confidence
you
in
and
it.
I are on the same page
When
with that.
I really lost confidence in the bank is I worked for TD.
Yeah, I'm working.
And when they said people have to make special requests to get their money, I was a CSR, one of the managers. I'm the person you got to come and sit down with and ask for your money.
And I was like,
I'm like,
give
you
you
they
give
finna
you my
ask
money.
me? They finna ask me for their money? What?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's backwards.
So you mean to tell me he come in here and ask for $15,000? I can't give him his money.
Yeah.
I got to tell him you got to make an appointment.
Yeah.
Come back and we'll have you all set
So
up.
Matt,
And not only that, when you come,
Yeah.
they ask you questions like, are you doing this under duress?
yeah.
Is anyone forcing you to do this? I gotta ask stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
For somebody just want their money.
So-
And I'm talking about these. Some of these people don't be playing. I'm talking about around here, you'll get cussed out. Some of these people come in there and they not playing about it. Can I just have my fucking money? I'm sorry, sir, you can't. Look, I'll bring my other manager over here because I don't want you to yell at me, because if I get loud, we both in
I
trouble.
need my motherfucking money,
I'm gonna
bro.
bring my other manager over here. She'll handle this.
So
Yo,
Matt,
get your other manager.
It shouldn't be
cut
that
my
hard.
It shouldn't be that
down.
hard. And I'm talking
$1,000.
about, this is what's crazy. So like, there is a system when you like working in the bank. You see it like you have to have a certain amount of money in the drawer, a certain amount of money in the back, a certain amount of money in the machines out there. So it is a big ass division. And if you take a big ass chunk out, and on Fridays everybody want that big ass
Yeah,
chunk.
it fucks
Everybody's gonna
everybody
go do
up.
something for
Yeah,
the weekend.
messes
So
you up.
if everybody came in, the bank only get like 80K
Yeah.
a day, like dropped off from that garden truck. It only get like 80K. So if like say 5 people come in and they want 15 grand,
Yeah.
that money gone. And then you got people coming in for their
Catching their
paychecks.
checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So think about this.
That money gone.
Yeah.
Then you're really looking crazy if somebody come in and ask for money.
So think about this. How long ago was that when you were doing the bank?
That
What
was-
what year was that?
That's 2000.
10 years ago.
So 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, things were a lot different. There wasn't, you couldn't play with Apple Pay. You couldn't do all these different, there wasn't no Cash App. There wasn't no Zelle. So think about this. Back then, you really had to go to the bank and get your money. So you, like you said, you had to have enough on hand. Now they don't need that because nobody's doing that.
Right.
Nobody's cashing their check.
All
the
it
bank.
is
it's all
click,
It's clicks.
click my phone,
It's click,
and I'm
click,
gone.
click. That's where they built it up to where it's the slow boiling of the frog in the boiling pot. It's slowly boiling up to the point where people are going to be like, well, wait a minute, now I can't. Everything's digital, nothing's physical. I can't. The bank doesn't have my money. Why don't they have my money? It makes you completely oblivious, especially kids that are like in their 20s that don't know what it's like to not be able to go, dude, dude.
and play with this. They don't know what it's like to have a stack of cash or go cash their paycheck. The paycheck is there. It's automatically deposited. It's right there. It's all digital. It doesn't exchange any hands except through thin air.
Well, we're all guilty of that because I'll tell you, I'm guilty of it too. Not so much. I don't do anything on my phone,
Neither
but
do I.
the card.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And
I use credit
but
card.
if we ever end up in a cashless society,
Forget it.
A lot of people are.
They're gonna fucking lose their minds.
we're all screwed.
Yeah, that's why we have to take our power back, like Rondell said, and go back to a gold and silver standard so that we don't get caught in that trap. Because a lot of people are still going to go to the digital central bank digital currency. There's people that are already there. I see people already in the metaverse. Like they're literally in the metaverse.
Yeah, I see that too. They have that.
They're already there.
See, I think one of the first things they're going to take is the stock market money. All that money's going to go. All your money.
Bingo. That's what Bo Polney said.
Crash.
The stock market
Right.
is going to
Stock
crash
market is first, and then
Yeah.
the banks.
Yep.
Then what happens to your money? You got no money.
You got no
money.
Because there's no money in the bank to give you.
Nope.
But this says I have $100,000 in there. Not anymore.
Nope.
But
something worse.
But they'll go like this. But if you download this app, the central bank digital currency, the Fed
may be able to get some.
We'll be able to give it. No, we'll be able to give it to you because it'll only be digital on the screen. And guess what? We'll give you a $10,000 bonus because the inconvenience. So now you actually got $110,000 now. Shit, that's great. That works out.
Before that happens, before that happens,
there you go.
In my mind, 4 years before that happens, we'll be at war. We'll be back at war again.
Yeah,
But I think there'll be a civil war before we have a fucking world war.
World war or civil, we'll be at war when all that happens.
Well, before
They're talking about civil war
my
now.
opinion about that crash and stuff like that, and you're talking about war, and Gregory Manarino will tell you this too. So actually George Salente.
Okay.
If you listen to him,
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
and he always says it. All wars are bankers' wars, and when all else fails, they take you to war.
Exactly.
You know why? Because if the left hand's doing this and everybody's focused over here,
Yeah,
whether it's a war or something else,
You gotta have something to
it's not
distract.
focused
Exactly.
over here, which
Where
is
they
what's
taking
going on.
money.
And so I agree 100% what you're saying, and what I believe is that what this whole thing is happening is so that people see that and they'll realize that, like, we're not falling for this again. We're not falling for this. What's going over here? Let's start a war over here. We're going to stand up and say, no, we're not sick, because this is the awakening. This is the great awakening. This isn't 10 years ago. This isn't 15 years ago. This is a whole different animal now. We got information out the wazoo. Twitter's wide open. There's all kinds of information coming. Everybody that's doing things in the dark are getting exposed. Everything I've been saying on this podcast is getting exposed every day. It's coming to the surface. Coming to the surface. Every time we talk about DeSantis and the globalist, there he is. He's a globalist. Look at him. He sold out. He went against Trump. They're all doing it because they're showing themselves. Like Eddie said, they're outing themselves. Evil consumes itself. That's what ends up happening. They end up outing themselves because they see it coming. They're like, oh shit, like this ain't good. Like this is we got a problem here.
Yeah, I was disappointed in Santis when he decided to run.
Yeah,
get in the race
because he was told to.
He was told to.
Yeah, somebody got his ear, and I'll tell you, because the way I look at it, I'm a pretty simple-minded kind of person, and it's like when we all went out there and we voted for him to be our governor. To me, that was like signing a contract. When I bubbled in DeSantis' name, I signed a contract, and so did he by being on the ballot for me to bubble in. For him to be the governor, not just for 1 year or 2 years or 3, but all 4.
Exactly.
Can I say something though? Remember when he was asked the question, do you plan to run the 4 years? He didn't answer.
No, he did. You're right.
He didn't answer that question because he was already planning to run for president
100%.
as he was running for governor.
No doubt.
So
And Trump
that was
knew that,
already
too.
planned.
And
That was
Trump knew
already
that.
planned. So I think if he wouldn't have fucked up, he probably would have been a good choice for VP.
If he wasn't a globalist, but we already knew he was. We already knew.
He needed to be exposed.
Exactly. What I just say before
Right.
this whole
when he backed out, now he's saying he's backing Trump
which
and he's
is all
back to be.
bullshit.
It's all a lie.
All lies. All
You know what I
smoke and
mean?
mirrors.
He's doing this because he's trying to get his base back.
Exactly. People
But
are
you
going
know what
for it.
happened? No. His next election for governor, he's gonna.
done.
It may
He's
be
done.
Brian
He's
Donalds.
done.
What's crazy is we called it, though. We literally said DeSantis run for governor, run for president, he's fucked.
Yep.
We said it.
Yeah,
We've been
did.
said it. We said it immediately.
We
And
did.
whoever told him or whoever he let get in his ear,
Yeah.
that that eroded my confidence because, the contract I talked about bubbling them in and voting for them was for 4 years.
Yeah.
But it kind of tells me a lot about somebody, if they let somebody get in their ear and influence to do something that maybe they probably would not have if they were left to their own devices.
The bribe.
Money.
It's the bribe.
It's the only thing.
Let me tell you something.
It is the only
Florida
thing.
and New York
It's not
are the
this.
highest
It's this.
for child sex slavery.
Yeah.
Florida and New York. He knows all about it. He knows all about the
This
sex
is what
child
it is
sex
right here.
slavery
This
that's
is
going
it.
on in Florida.
This is what he sold out to. He sold out to this.
Without a doubt.
Took the money.
I'm telling you, I've seen it, and I've seen it in those little things.
You talked
With the
about it
mob.
last
The mob
podcast.
used to do it.
Yeah.
The mob used to have a guy, put him in place. We're gonna use this guy, dangle him, get everybody's attention to him, and then he's gonna endorse the guy we really want in place.
Yeah.
That shifts everybody's focus to what that guy's doing. Let's see why he said endorse
Snoop
him.
Dogg is endorsing my boy Trump.
Yeah. And that's another one. It's like
Snoop Dogg saying, "Nah, Trump's the man."
This
all
is who
of
we
a
want.
sudden, all of a sudden.
The people who have the money now, they're saying fuck this regime. They're saying
They're seeing
we're
it.
fucking. You're
They're seeing
starving
like,
our
what the
people.
fuck
Like
is this?
we
What
can't
you
even
guys
keep
are
our
doing?
people.
Look what happened with Cat
I gotta
Williams.
say, what took
He
you so
fucking put
long?
everybody out.
Like that's the only thing.
Come on,
Like,
what
what took so long for y'all to see that
Oh.
your employees are hurting?
You
the
said
people
it.
you're
Trump
supposed to take
needed
care
to
of are
lose the
hurting.
presidency.
He had to.
This way we can see
He
that
had
it was
to.
a true scam.
Yeah.
They stole the fucking election.
Yeah.
They did it right in our faces, and we had to fucking say okay.
And they've been doing it. And they've
Yeah.
been doing it all this time. And so that. And again, remember, Trump made the economy great with a fiat system. So he was showing you that look, this doesn't have to be this way. I can make it good. I can make it good.
And he made it.
And
We
he
got
made it
everything
good.
we need.
Yeah,
We
I
need
can,
it.
so
He's
then
showing you.
now he's showing you. Imagine what I could do if we did this, and we collapsed this. I did good with the fiat that was backed by nothing. Imagine what kind of wealth I could make with this, backed by it.
That's why you could give that chick $83 million of fucking money. That's no good.
Yeah, and that's all an illusion too.
she's
That's all a
going
lie
shy.
too. But that's what he's showing you that I can make this. That's why he says make America wealthy again, because we were a wealthy country at one time. We're not anymore. We're up in the debt up our eyeballs.
Yeah, we've been sold out in many ways. One of the biggest ways is we used to be an industrial nation. where we
Exactly,
were-
and he knows that
where
too.
We're manufacturing
Exactly, and he brought that back.
But we offshored it
Yeah.
years ago. He tried to bring some of that back.
Exactly, and
You know, the
saw
unions
that.
are culprits too because I heard this a long time ago about almost a third of the price of a new vehicle is tied to union costs.
Oh, sure.
You know?
Sure. It's the same
So we
prices
gotta
of
get
cars
that
right now.
equilibrium. There's a place for unions so that corporations don't abuse their employees.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's that equilibrium on the other side where the unions can't be running roughshod like they are.
Exactly. It's all
As well.
being exposed, and Trump showed that too. He was like, I brought manufacturing back. I was drilling and we making oil. We got liquid gold.
He said, you know something, that it was at $1.87. He was bringing the gas lower.
Oh, he would have got it down below $1.
It would have been down under $1. When I
Yeah.
first moved to Florida back in 2001, crossing Georgia was 83 cents a gallon. True story.
This is what's happening. And so, again, that's another, like Rondell said, gold and silver and all that.
I ain't never seen that.
They're precious metals. They're minerals, and so that's another thing that oil could be backed by a coin, like you said, like a digital coin. Like oil would be backed by a digital coin. Everything would be so you can transact. That's what's being ushered in, is that type of way to transact and have certain things, minerals and stuff like that, back those things. This is what this is trying to play out right now. You know, because we can, if we started drilling like we were doing before, we'd have all this liquid gold, like he said. Well, when he says liquid gold, he's telling you like it can be backed. Oil can be backed by the precious metals and everything.
He shut that shit down first quarter.
First thing he did. That's what, and he told you he was going to do
Because,
it.
look, this one was already in plan. We were already sold.
Yeah, we're already captured.
America
We're
was
already
already
captured.
sold.
We were captured already. You know.
And this
It's
is
like
what
you
people are
said
starting to
that
find out.
Number on the Social Security is our slave number or something.
The back of the Social Security
Yeah.
card is that number on the back. You're a traded commodity. We're all commodities. We're all traded. So we're backed by something because we are labor. So what we do, we give the matrix its power. So that's how they keep the money going, because we're the ones running around like me. I'm running around chasing money today. Running down, driving back. Chasing money. We give the matrix its power. Well, if we go back to a golden backed silver currency, then we're not chasing the dollar. We're everything.
We have it. It's ours. It's in my
Exactly.
pocket.
Exactly. We're not chasing it. We're not running around trying to chase it.
We're living
and then
our life.
And then we're doing what we love.
Right.
You're doing what you love at
I
the
do.
gym.
I
You do
do.
what you love. You do what you love. And then and the money is secondary. The
Yeah.
money is all like, oh well, shit. Look at that. Look at all this money. We got all this wealth
I don't
now,
do it for
and I don't
money.
even give a shit about it because we're doing what we love, because we're free and sovereign beings.
Right now, I have to do it for money, but if I didn't have to, I wouldn't.
Exactly. But you'd still have the gym, and you wouldn't
Yeah.
have to do it for money. You'd be helping people get in shape and feel good about themselves. You'd be raising their frequency. This is what this is about too, because this lowers your frequency.
Absolutely.
This brings it way down. Remember, it's currency.
Word.
It's currency. Yeah.
Word.
But it's also currency. It can be used for good. It can be used for good. If you pass the currency on to somebody else, then it becomes value. Then it has value to it. See, and then everybody becomes abundant. Everybody can make a living. Everybody can have a place to lay their head. Like all these homeless in Vero laying their head on the sidewalk for no reason.
Too many homeless.
Too many, and it shouldn't be that way. And that's
Young
what we
men.
talk about.
Young men.
It shouldn't be that way, but it is.
And they're overpopulating us with fucking 9.6 million fucking immigrants, and fucking they want to fucking link it to 5,000 a day.
Yeah.
That's it, just 5,000 a day, 1.6 million a fucking year.
Whatever,
Oh,
we don't have a
God.
border. This is treason, and this is what we're going to see. We're going to see military tribunals at some point. We're going to see Nuremberg Trial 2.0, I can tell you, because it's all getting exposed. It's all going down. And we have to witness it, but we have to be in faith. We just have to be in faith, and justice will be served.
Amen.
Boom.
Amen. bro.
Justice will be served. Amen. I'm preaching. Hallelujah.
Anyway, that's a good close, man. But I tell you this, man. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for listening to this show. It's been an hour. We always try to keep it to an hour, and just want to say thanks and share the show. Really, it's important that you share the show. We try to get the show out there. This show costs us money. The only one that sponsors us is Caps. We don't do it for any kind of sponsorship, for any money. We do it really to try to spread the truth to you guys. Like today, we had John come in to explain gold and silver, because that's where it's getting to.
Yep.
So, just want to say thanks for listening, and thanks, John, for coming down, and I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, John.
Thanks for having me.
No, absolutely, man.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we'll have you on again, man.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
things
We
progress,
can talk about other topics too.
yeah, send me anything you're interested in. You send it to me.
Gonna
and
need them updates.
Yeah, 100%, man. That's what we need. All right, guys. Stay human.
What you saying, nigga?
Love, peace, chicken grease. We out.
Oh, nah.
That's me, though. You.
You're supposed to say God bless, Eddie.
God bless.
All right. All right. We out.
Yes.
Yeah.